What's going on, Buff Nation? Welcome back to another video. We got a lot to go over today. We had some movement in the transfer portal. We had some commitments. There is an interesting stat that I want to show all of you on production on the football field for the Buffs. They also sold out, second year in a row. Record-breaking for the Buffs. We'll talk about what all of that means. It's going to be a jam-packed show. Before we do any of that, of course, you know the drill. We got to roll the intro, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get it.
I flushed my kids down in the club.
It always hits. It always hits. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe as we are on the way to 10,000 subs. Sorry for my another delay. I haven't been on for a while. It's my wife and I's 7-year anniversary, and you give yourself copper. As you can see, there's some copper there that she gave me, a little lucky horseshoe, and then a pick holder because I play the guitar a little bit. So we were celebrating that this weekend, but it's actually today. But we're back in order, ready to rock and roll. So first order of business, we got to dive right into it. I saw a lot of people asking questions about this. What? Just this graphic tells you all you need to know. The amount of movement this young man has made. Rashad Amos, South Carolina to Miami of Ohio, then Mississippi State. He was committed to, then committed to Colorado, and now it's flipped to Ole Miss. Very interesting situation here. Ole Miss arguably has done his fighting back and forth for the Portal King title this year with Colorado as they went all in on the transfer portal. This has been the Lane Kiffin's move. They have sold themselves to be very aggressive. And look, Ole Miss is in a very win now mentality. The guys they're going after or to make an impact right away, similar to what Colorado is doing, but not as aggressive in my opinion. They are no joke selling the farm to make it work for this season, and they better win. They better win and get it done this year because Ole Miss, like I said, is laying it on the line here. Look, people are asking, is this a big loss? In my opinion, when all this was going around and happening, when there was so much movement in the transfer portal, a lot of running backs left, but then they came flooding in with Deion Hayden from Ohio State, Rashad Amos, Charlie O gets a walk-on. We've hearing great things about Michael Welch. It's like this running back room is stout. It's going to be just fine. This concerns me a little bit, right? Look, I also state the running back room is a dime a dozen, but this was going to be a big pickup, a lot of veteran experience that you need, and was loving where the running back room was. Does that mean Hayden can't step up? Because again, Edwards was going to be the guy as a true sophomore. Hayden's coming in as a redshirt sophomore. So you kind of have the same bit there. You're right back to where you were with, again, Welch still making a big impact. So you're not tremendously out of it, but I loved this addition when he was on the team. I thought it was going to be a huge catapult for the team. Again, we saw how the team functioned. They sling that thing around, okay? They sling that thing around. So how much of an impact is it really going to make in a Big 12 conference where throwing the ball has and always will, I believe, be the mantra? I think it's going to be just okay. But this one, in my opinion, stung. This puts them now at 79 scholarships. They did, however, land themselves a long snapper from Arizona and Cameron Hawkins this past week. And so a little bit of back and forth there with Colorado. Again, a lot went down while I was celebrating the anniversary. But all in all, the Rashad one was a little, I saw that there was a crystal ball that it could be flipping. I go, oh, goodness gracious. Old Lane Kiffin out there cooking. Again, why the Ole Miss? They've got a pretty stout running back room. You were going to be the guy, in my opinion, at Colorado and really have an opportunity to set yourself apart. And it's not like he's going to an Ole Miss team that runs the ball. They've got Jackson Dart where they sling the ball just as much as well too. Again, I don't have all the answers to all these things. It just, some people are going to say NIL. I find if it's an NIL thing, Ole Miss, no joke, is land all on the line. They landed the number one edge, the number one defensive lineman. They have landed so many top-tier talents in these back-to-back portal cycles that I don't know how they got anything left. But they do, and they're getting kind of anything they want at the moment. So it is what it is. But look, here's where I want to transition into next, which is the returning production on the football field. This is a wild one. This one's going to kind of be like, what? Wait a minute. Let's think about all the guys that have went into the transfer portal for just a moment for the Buffs, which puts them at, let me take a look here and see where they actually have the list pulled up. They've had 44 transfers out. 44 guys have left Colorado, and you're thinking, oh, that's a lot of guys. That's a lot. And you hear the haters. Well, they're done. Everybody's leaving Colorado. It's a dumpster fire. 39 have transferred in. We won't get into that, though. Let's just talk about the 44 that left and how much of an impact that it's made. And I've come on here from almost all the transfers, and I've had talks about them and said, look, not that big of a loss, not this, not that. And everyone's gave me the hoot and hollering of, you're just being a suck up. Well, The great thing about these things is I don't just say it because it feels good for my tummy. I have some reason to believe, or usually there's data that supports this, and that's what we're going to show you today. This chart right here, which is a lot of gibberish, but we're going to look at one particular number here in just a moment. 2024 college football returning production, which means the product you put on the football field last year is returning this year. Okay, so 71% is the number here. 71% of Colorado's team that produced on the football field is returning. Well, what does that number mean, Sheldon? Is that good? Is that bad? It sounds like a C. C's get degrees. They do. Well, number one's Iowa State at 86. Should we worry about Iowa State? They are in the Big 12. Could be a reason for concern. But this ranks Colorado 17th overall out of 134 teams. And we know the talent that's on Colorado. We know what's there. And we know it's coming in, right, to add to that. So we were saying, well, that 71% went, 4 and 6 or whatever it did. Or I can't remember, 5 and 7. I don't remember the record. But besides the point. Yes, it did. But we also can all agree there were some holes and things that needed to be filled. But you see the pattern, right? They brought back exactly what they wanted, and the rest of it either went to the pros or went elsewhere. But 71% is coming back. Now, why is that really that big of a deal? Because look at the teams ahead of them. Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, Rice, Virginia, Hawaii, UCF. UCF's not going to win a natty because they brought 79%. I understand that. You're always going to have these outlier schools. Let's take a look at last year. You notice something here? Florida State, 87% at number 1, and Michigan at 81%. Those two teams ring a bell. Florida State went undefeated, just missed the playoffs. Michigan won the whole damn thing. Okay? Now, again, I'm not saying that Colorado is going to be the next Michigan or the fourth state and go undefeated. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that the things that they're doing are moving in the right direction. It's back. Everything we've been talking about, the guys that are leaving, the guys that are coming in, are moving the needle in the right direction. It moves so quickly, and look, because you've got guys coming and going, this is the model that they are doing. Again, 44 players left. Ole Miss, like I just said, very similar to the same pattern, had 23 leave, 22 coming back in. So very similar to the same path. Here's another big interesting point. The average player rating that left Colorado was 65.25. The average player rating coming in is 72.13. Now, other schools like Florida State at 78.1, Ole Miss at 79.9. These schools that are well-established and, again, are in a better place of buying power, in my opinion, are going to be up there. But to be in that category, Florida State, Ole Miss, Texas, Oregon, all which will be competing more than likely in the playoffs next year, is good company to be in. So you're returning 71% of your production, which I think if you're a fan of Colorado, you're excited for what is returning because there was a lot of great things that were done there and a lot of things that weren't. It's like seems like they cleaned out the cupboard. Like Coach Prime has said multiple times. They got rid of what they didn't want, and they were able to go and get what they needed. So this is kind of just to settle the gut a little bit because it gets a little, it can be chaotic because of so much movement happening. It's hard to keep up. What also happened too, which we'll get into before we get into the sold out, is today Coach Devin tweeted out that a commitment would be happening today at 6 or 7 p.m. Then he just said things have been moved back. So keep your eyes peeled for that when that commitment does happen. Seems like the Buffs are just moving right along. Now, is it a portal guy? Is it a recruit guy? Those things we don't know. But I do want to go over an interesting one here. Julian Lewis, 5-star quarterback, number 2 quarterback in the country, right behind Bryce Underwood, is set to make an announcement at the end of June, it seems like. Has some massive official visits come over the next 4 weeks. This is going to be a massive recruiting target to watch over the next 4 weeks that we're going to be keeping an eye on, see how that unfolds. This would put the offseason in college football on its head if Coach Prime is able to land this and really, I would say, change the tone and change the approach to recruiting just a little bit because you're going to get a 5-star quarterback. You're going to want to build around that. And it also kind of shuts the haters up of Coach Prime's just putting this together for his sons and he's out of here. You go land Julian Lewis, you shut everybody up saying, I'm here to make a statement. If you go land the number 2 quarterback in the country, you better buckle up and sit tight, okay? You think season selling sold out tickets back-to-back years is going to be impressive. I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be mayhem. Speaking of sold out and mayhem, sold out, 2nd year in a row, 2nd time out of 10 times in the entire history of Colorado. It's nuts. Like you have to put this in perspective here. 20% of a record is owned in back-to-back years because of one single movement is absolutely incredible. Huge for Colorado. You love seeing it. And again, I think they've got some big-time games coming up this year, being in the Big 12. it's gonna be a fun year. New time slots, I think, which that was a big complaint for last year for Colorado, and Pac-12 was a weird time slots. I think they're gonna have some fun time again. They're gonna be in a primetime game. That first game against North Dakota State on Thursday. It's gonna be May. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be so much fun. And obviously, we've got coming up the NCAA college football game, which is gonna be a blast. Getting to play with Travis Hunter, and shout out to Travis Hunter for finding himself on the cover alongside Quinn Ewers and Michigan running back with on the cover. So that's absolutely incredible, and kudos to him. And then he's also on the Deluxe cover as well, which encompasses more players and more teams. Which, if you don't buy that version, what are you doing? You get it 3 days early. Go buy the game, the deluxe version for $99, or you can buy the other one, which is $135 for Madden. But I'm not playing Madden. I just want the bread and butter. I want to lock it in. Well, let me know your thoughts and feelings about how this has unfolded. Hopefully your stomach's settled a little bit. You drink some Sprite. You're feeling a little bit better after what we spoke about today, the returning production. That also ranks him third in the Big 12, which we did see, which was Iowa State. I believe, let me go back to that really quick. It was Iowa State and Oklahoma State, which is above them. And again, both of those teams are in the Big 12, which when going through the schedule, Oklahoma State was somebody that I circled that could be reason of concern. So not saying that I was dialed in there, but you do the math. You do the math. Let me know how you're feeling in the comment section. Be sure you know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.